Casey and Jeepo, the grand potentate, both joining the same show the same time.
That's
What an
right.
exciting day.
And,
All
and
right.
most
What is it? No, we're getting right into this, Dad. It's like what, week 16? Are we week 16 or 15?
16.
16.
God, there's so many weeks because we still have 3 games left. Saying week 16 feels like it's the end of the season.
Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
I don't get that.
Yeah.
All right, Vikings Weekly, week 16. We're here. We played
Vikings
Detroit.
banter.
Vikings banter. coming at you weekly.
That's right. Exactly.
Let's go. Newest Viking in the house. We have Grand Potentate in the house, Jeepo, as a celebrity guest. We got Luke, Katya, John in the house, and everybody else. So, how we feeling?
Oh boy, how was last week for you guys? Because it was not fun. I mean,
Was that not the worst way to wake up on a Saturday morning? Was that horrendous?
I mean, the fact that we don't drop in the playoff standings from that was just too. It's like the most Vikings thing to happen to us this season. Where it's like that game was every part of the spectrum. It was like the highest highs where you're like, holy shit, look at these throws Nick Mullins is taking. And then 2 seconds later, the ball's out and you're like, what the fuck is this team? It was just so all over the place. And then we're humbling Jake Browning. We're like, that's right, take it. And then all of a sudden the guy comes out and he's Joe Burrow. And you're like, what the fuck? It was mad.
Earmuffs, Luke. Earmuffs.
She needs to pick a different team. CC, I'm doing this for you. Get out of here while you can.
Johnny Sweets, what were you feeling during this whole thing? Did it ruin your Saturday?
It was a tough one to witness for sure, especially like Luke said, we're the first game to play on Saturday, and we had to kind of, sit on our hands for the rest of that Sunday action to make sure that we weren't, out of the playoffs. So definitely a real sad one. Would have been nice for us to have there. Maybe worse than the Bears game in terms of losses. I'd say so. Just the manner and how we lost, how we couldn't convert on 2 butt fumbles. So that was shocking to see. I'd definitely like to talk about that for a little bit. I think we should stop with the butt fumbles. We're not Jalen Hurts. We're not the Eagles. Go ahead.
No, not keep going.
Ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's shitty. Why are we doing that on 4th and 1? We have a 120-yard back in Ty Chandler. We've been running the ball well all game, by the way. Ty Chandler, an absolute revelation. Pass block well as well. Like solid player for us. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He looks really, really good. And on third and inch yard line, you don't give it to him, and then on 4th, you double down and you pick the exact same play. It's just confusing. And then to have Brandon Powell pushing Nick Mullins doesn't make any sense to me. I know Kevin O'Connell talked about it. Oh, it was the 11 personnel that we had in. We didn't want him to go goal line, stuff like that. Inexcusable. You need to get that 1 inch. Doesn't matter.
Papa Bear, who is the worst player on the team for the Vikings from last week, in your opinion?
he wasn't on the field playing. He was calling the calls. It was a call. It was he was pathetic. To not have Chandler and like you said, correction, it wasn't 4th and a yard. It was 4th and 4 inches. 4 inches. You give it to Chandler and you give it to him. So the worst player was not on the field.
I like him. Whose that is this? Who is this? Is this Stead?
This is Papa Bear Stead up in Minnesota.
You, sir, are just saying what I've been saying. It almost scares me. Like I'm just going to be saying it forever now. Kevin O'Connell. I mean, again, like I can't blame Nick Mullins' turnovers on him, but in that scenario, like these are obvious calls, like you said, John, with the personnel on the field. Like you get the right guys in the right spots. You can't expect Brandon Powell's tiny ass, who should be a kick returner, to be pushing, this isn't the same thing. Get CJ Ham out there, give it to Ty Chandler. Let's go with the good Ty Chandler. We ran the ball, easily our best rushing game of the season. Ty Chandler, 23 carries, 132 yards, 5.7 average. Like that's our recipe now for possibly winning, possibly an upset playoff game. Like, this is how we can compete. If I see Alexander Mattison back out there this week as the lead back, I'm going to lose my mind.
For sure. For
Which
sure.
is probably going to happen because that's what I do. I lose
Wait,
my mind.
Luke.
Don't you have like Ivan Pace come and do the tush push? Everybody knows the tush push is coming.
You have CJ Ham. You have Ivan Pace on offense.
I'm more of a, I'm more of an Ivan Pace than CJ Ham. I switch sides real quick.
Wait,
0 to 0.
We know.
I don't want to like get too ahead of myself and get into the Detroit game, but
Yeah.
I will admit that the 10 a.m. game kind of fucked me, and I had Ty Chandler on my bench. Should I put him in the starting position against Detroit?
Yeah, I mean, coming off the game, it only makes sense. Even if he gets less carries or a 50-50 split, he just does so much more with the carries than Alexander Mattison.
We
Well,
stripped Ty Chandler of a Pro Bowl season by not setting him up as a first, like, just give him the ball from the bit. He's easily a 1,200 like yard back, maybe 15 once he finally gets running. Like, we stripped him as a Pro Bowl. Like, he should be so mad at Kirk Cousins of being like, dude, I should be where I don't know where the Pro Bowl is anymore. Not that it matters because it's touch football. But yeah, he should have been in Hawaii.
But it's money. It's money. If you go to the Pro Bowl, you get like a nice little check.
Yeah, it's big for your career. Yeah.
It's big for your career. It's big for signing your next contract. He absolutely was going nowhere near the Pro Bowl, but this is the season he gets to now. Honestly, he should thank Madison for being a useless piece of shit because Madison did nothing with a job opportunity and Chandler has stepped in and he's hungry and he's using that. Something about being a backup, like you're hungry to beat the guy ahead of you, which is what Alexander Mattison did as the best backup in the NFL for so many years behind Dalvin Cook. Now he has the job and he squandered it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess back up like 2 years ago, we're like, why do we even need Cook? We have Madison. He's just as good. He looks the exact same. He runs a little bit more hungry. All the things. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, now Chandler leading into next season. Like, there's things I'm excited about for next season. I keep thinking this season is over. Like, I look at it as a wash, and then I'm like, we're in 6th place, and right now we line up to play the Lions in the playoffs if it were to end today. But we have 2 games against the Lions and 1 against the Packers. So, you know, in a way, it would take Lions losing out and us winning out to actually win this division, which is crazy. But we're in a position that we could do that.
We can sweep the Lions.
Yeah, we just need them to lose their other game, which I'm not sure who they're playing in there.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're playing the Cowboys, which
Okay.
Easily losable game.
Yeah, no, they could lose out. Look, if we win this game and the Packers game and they lose to us, obviously, and the Cowboys, the pressure on them going into the final week of the season, it'll be too much. Like they would just lose it off being the Lions. That's what they do.
I love being able to be a Cowboys fan next week. It's going to be real fun.
To watch a good team this season?
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
Are they good? I don't know.
Oh, I think they're good. I don't think they're Super Bowl good, but they're like a regular season. They're a good team.
Well, Dak Prescott's as elite as it gets.
Jesus.
No,
right?
no. None of that.
No?
Look, again, with the Mullins thing, it was exciting to see some of the offense, the high flying stuff, and like a broke man's Brett Favre of just launching balls. And when it was working, it was exciting. And when it's not working, you go, okay, you know, what the hell?
He should put that on his Instagram. Broke man, Brett Favre.
San Francisco Favre.
He kind of is, though. I see what you're saying, Luke.
That'd be great.
Threw probably the stupidest pick I've ever seen in my entire life. How do you throw it to you guys are both pretty much on the ground, throws it to a lineman laying on the ground. Unbelievable play by the lineman to pick off Nick Mullins. I thought it was a fumble for a while, but it was like, no, clear as day. It was an interception.
Lineman didn't do anything. He like fumbled around. It's like he caught a burger right before he fell in bed.
Put his hands up, and it was like unbelievable. I cannot believe you make that play. He thought he was going to throw it incomplete, but at that point, it's grounding anyways. Just a boneheaded, stupid play. They need to talk to him about that. Hopefully, he learns from that mistake. And then he had another bad interception as well that was called back because of that penalty. We tend to forget about that one, but that pick 6 was brutal.
Yeah, there were a lot of bad ones.
So,
I mean,
you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? So definitely take the good with the bad with that one. There were some good things about Nick Mullins that I didn't see out of Dobbs, but definitely, definitely something to look forward to with the Lions. Is that element of surprise, like you said, he can launch it, he can send it. It seems like he's got a decent rope of a ball that comes out. So
you love guys with good ropes, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like ball
He-
comes out, quick release. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying he was running like Kevin O'Connell keeps scapegoating everyone as like, oh, this guy's not running my offense, bench him. Like that's what was going on with the Dobbs thing. Like even though Dobbs can improv and play make, he wasn't running the offense Kevin O'Connell wanted. So now it's like, okay, Nick Mullins was doing what he wanted. He was getting the ball out quick. He was finding these quicker routes.
Correct.
So that was more of like what Kirk Cousins brought to the offense. So it was kind of nice to see that. Dobbs at the end was so skittish. He was just bailing out on every play. So now at least we see more of what Kevin O'Connell wants the offense to be. So it is on him if things don't go well.
And again, like I'm a big fuck Kevin O'Connell. I actually don't care what he thinks anymore. But what I did like is that Jefferson gave him some love. Jefferson was like, look, this guy does stay late at night. We've seen him all season. He kind of deserves
Oh, did he? I missed that.
Yeah, so he did give him that kind of. Jefferson's been really good, at just trying to continue camaraderie, continue the brotherhood, make everything cool. And he keeps on acting like this leader that's like, we're not going to throw people under the bus. Like, he's our quarterback now. He deserves it. All these types of things. He said all the right stuff.
Do you think that's because he wants to? Do you think he wants to stay in Minnesota, or do you think that's because he's just trying to bring his stock up even more as the best wide receiver and be like, not best wide receiver in the league, but I'm also just a great guy in the locker room?
I think he's proving himself just as a true leader. I think he's a young guy that's stepping up into it's that weird thing where you go from young buck to veteran, and it's like within a 2-year period of time. I think he's just stepping into that role really well. And we're just watching him through an actual and not a choppy transition like you see from most wide receivers. Wide receivers usually have huge ego problems. They don't know how to step up into that type of communicator, camaraderie person. So he's just doing it well. Biggest problem though. Well, I don't want to jump off that yet, but Dad, what's Minnesota saying about where we're at? What they're hearing with
what's the
Mullins and everything.
Heartland?
Here's the scoop from the heartland, my friends. You young people have something to live for. You have, you got Cece in your lap there. Katia, you guys are looking at wealth and health and all these good things. Johnny Sweets, you have the great weather. I'm looking out on gloomy, doomy Minnesota, and right now I go to a men's group every day, every week. I don't know if the Minnesota Vikings get it. This is all we live for. It was despair. It was terrible. It was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. So O'Connell's got to get it going. We did see some positivity with Hawkinson was catching some balls. Did not Oliver catch a ball or two?
Yeah, Oliver for 14.
We got the tight ends involved.
What's an Oliver? Yeah, I don't even know. We named our dog Oliver. That's not.
Yeah, the dog Oliver's right there, by the way.
That's Oliver. Yeah, the only Oliver I know.
But
this other Oliver.
There was for us old guys, we have to have some wins. It was despair all week. That said, there's glimmers of hope. Hawkinson was looking good. If Oliver can catch some balls, and you mentioned that, I know the way to bring Dobbs back. That's a terrible thing. LJ said, don't mention Dobbs. I'll tell you what we need to do to Dobbs. Bring him down here to the Mayo Clinic, take him over, give him electroconvulsive shock therapy, take away all memory of all plays, get back.
The MIB, Men in Black.
Game 1, where he knows nothing, and just let him run and be like he was on, a little ball game when you're a kid. That's what we need. Get rid of all memory of all plays. Just play your game jobs and do it.
I love that.
Heartland. Sorry to be harsh on you guys, but this is a guy who's lived through losses. And let me think, 70, 74, 75, 77, which isn't the most losses. Who's had the most losses? Let's see who can come up with the quickest. Who's had the most losses in Super Bowls?
Either us or the Bills.
The
Come on,
Bills.
guys.
Bills.
Patriots and the
Bills.
Broncos.
Really?
Patriots and Broncos, I think. And then who has never even been there yet? Let's go, Johnny.
Browns.
Go ahead. Who hasn't been there?
There's a few. Jacksonville Jaguars, like
Yeah.
Yep.
Lions.
Houston,
Texans.
Jacksonville, Cleveland, and Detroit.
Yeah,
So
Detroit.
all's not lost. The baseline is I'm giving still glimmers of hope from the heartland, and we can make this happen. So let's be positive, move forward. We're not out of it, and we do control our own fate. Let's make it happen, O'Connell.
I like his positivity. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it won't happen this year, but next year, there's things to be excited about. Mainly, I got to give a shout out to Brock Purdy for completely changing how our offseason is going to go. He is now, I don't think he should be MVP, but he's now in the thick. I think the favorite for MVP. There's no chance San Francisco moves on from him this offseason. And that's where I thought Kirk might go to reunite with Kyle Shanahan. Kirk's got to come back to us. And we have to re-sign him. And now we really have no other choice. JJ is clearly going to re-sign and extend. He has taken that step up, like you said, from rookie, from amateur to veteran. Like he's doing all the things that with great power comes great responsibility. If you're going to get paid like the top guy, you have to act like the top guy. And that's who he's become this season. Like he had all these kind of immature things of like crazy stats he wanted to hit. And now he's kind of settled in and he like redid it. He's like, you know what? I just want to hit 1,000 yards. Like that's what I want every year of my career is 1,000 yards. That's such a good attainable goal and like a mature goal for him to try to strive for. So for him to stick around means he's also going to want to say in the quarterback. And the only quarterback he knows and now appreciates way more after playing with Mullins is Kirk. So I think the Kirk thing is going to get done. And I think we will have our captain back next year to lead us forward. And then Addison had a great game. He, again, rookie, up and down. You got to expect that. But 6 for 6, 6 catches on 6 targets, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns. He stepped up. They covered Justin, and he stepped up and played the one role, and it was fantastic.
For sure.
Spot on, Luke. You nailed it.
Well, one thing I think we have a possible chance with Kirk staying is that he has so many brand deals now that he's making so much money off of the field that I think for the first time ever, we have a chance that he's like, dude, I'm 35 years old, going on 36. I don't need to gut this team. I want to be able to end the right way. And I think he's found the value in actually being like a stable contributor to a team in Minnesota where, we lost Asana.
Yeah.
Where he's like, look, if you're a stable figure and you're willing to be like this goofy dad, like you have the Kohl's cash, what he's like, Kentucky Fried Chicken, like all these different things. He can make so much more money just by actually staying with us with off-field branding because his brand's perfectly on point with the Minnesota dad stuff. While you're watching this game this week, the funniest thing ever about Mullins is how he's constantly doing breath work. He just constantly looking like he's at Mile High Stadium, like deep in the fourth quarter, and it's the first play of the game. It's either he's having a constant panic attack and the situation's way too much for him to absorb, or he's just a big breathwork guy.
I mean, I didn't even.
John, you would know about breathwork. You're probably taping your mouth shut when you sleep, right? You're a taper, I bet.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that. I did kind of observe that a little bit. I think he's just kind of a newer guy. He doesn't have like the cardio that the QB1 would have, like jogging out to the huddle, going back and forth. He's still probably getting used to all that fanfare.
Isn't it all you would do as a backup is cardio?
I'm not sure. Yeah, but
you would just like after the game, you'd be like, "Oh, I didn't play the game, so I'm gonna get on the bike and like."
But as a quarterback, do you really need to run more than 50 yards in terms of cardio? Do you really have to have tip-top shape cardio? I don't really think so.
I mean, in Lamar Jackson's NFL, yeah, you need to run for 120.
A quarterback, you don't need to run more than 50 yards, in my opinion, to train for that NFL season.
50 yards a game.
You don't need to run 50 yards like at a time. Training. Like, why would you need to run more than 50 yards at a
Tell
time?
Dobbs that.
Sprinting
Dobbs
or
has to
anything.
Dobbs had to run 50 yards a play to be able to get out of our fucking pocket.
Different kind of quarterback, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're a running quarterback, you're maybe doing a little bit more, right? But when you're Kirk, I don't see him going for like a 6-mile jog. You know what I mean? Like, no.
No,
You know
but
why
Mullins is he's not dealing with cardio issues. He's having I think he's having panic attacks out there.
Well, he should. Whatever stops him from throwing one of those awful interceptions, do more breath work, do cat cow.
Yeah.
Give a shit what it is. I don't want to see another one of those. Dude, you take that away, we win that game. Like, it's as simple as that. Take one of those turnovers away.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the stats on our turnover battle this year? How pathetic it is?
Not great.
When we win the turnover battle, we're 4-0. 4-0. When we tie the turnover battle, we're 2-0. That's 6-0 when we don't lose the turnover battle. When we do lose, 1-7. So that's the game. You don't even have to show me anything else. You show me the turnover margin, I'll tell you if we won or lost.
Keep that Bratworth going. Katya, the red light district.
She gone still?
She
Okay.
she just showed back up.
I'm back. I'm back.
She's on the treadmill. Oh, cool.
No, my phone overheated in the sauna, so I figured I should.
That's what was happening.
Yeah. Hello. What did I miss? Where are we at?
Talking about
some good
Nick
stuff.
Mullins' breath work. Thoughts on that?
Nick Mullins' breath work. Oh yeah, you guys were like blowing up the group chat on that. Where does that come from? Do we have a source of his meditation and wellness routine?
Haven't been able to get a real good hit on it. I'm a big Twitter guy going deep in the chats and nothing. Nobody's come up with anything on my end.
Well, just speculate. Fuck it. Make it up.
Make it up.
If you say anonymous sources, you can really say anything.
Well, that's why I'm a big mental health guy, and I just don't you gotta address it. And yes, you don't speak it into existence. Like, don't hide it, Mullins. Like, I get it. Like, you're having some things out there.
Having been a dad, and you guys aren't all there yet, I've seen all you guys come up in 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade. And finally one guy gets a breakout and he gets to be the quarterback. He has this look of some 4th grade quarterback who's the first time in there and looks scared. He looks scared from my point of view. He's a scared man right now. He's still breathing and
he's too old for that. Like, act like you should be here. That's the difference. Is like Dobbs when he came in and didn't know the playbook. He came in and was like, let's play ball. Like, I'm an NFL player, which is the mentality that you want in your quarterback, is like next man up type situation in any position in the NFL. Like, have to have that next man up mentality.
Yeah.
Well, these are backups and they're career.
So what?
None of these guys are like stepping in like, oh, this could be the next guy. Like, no, these guys have proven.
So what?
Time and time
Speak
again.
it into existence. Just
that only gets you to backup level. Realistically, he might not be good enough. Dobbs might not be good enough to be a backup. Like, they show flashes, which is what got them to the NFL. But these guys are career backups. This is the best thing to happen to Kirk. Kirk can walk into Quest's office next season and go, hey, you think you guys can run this offense because you have this great receiving core and not even a good running back? Okay, yeah, do it without me.
Speaking of that, what is Alexander Madison's contract? Like, are we done with him?
Gotta cut him.
We're done, right?
Nothing. Yeah, no, running backs.
No, I know, but I don't want him on the team. Like, he has to just go.
They might keep him. I'm hoping we shed some fat, like trim some fat, get rid of Akers.
We've gotta address this in the draft.
I think we keep Ty. We had Miles.
Oh god,
we already have it.
So he signed a
we're fine.
A 2-year, $7 million deal.
Yeah, but I don't think it's I don't know what the cap hit is on that, but we could cut it. None of these contracts are usually guaranteed.
So he was already
$4 million in dead cap.
Yeah, that's fine. Bye. No, but look, you keep him, you put him as the backup, change of pace guy, like all that's fine. He's a decent blocker, but like Akers, we still have McBride floating on that practice squad. I was excited to see what that kid could do. We drafted. But yeah, I mean, look, we're not a running team. We ran, and I like seeing us run. I wish we would run more, but Kevin O'Connell wants to throw the ball. So once we get Kirk back, we'll see what it becomes. But for the rest of this season, hopefully Chandler gets to show what he can do.
And again, I would like to see Dobbs with 2nd and 5 and not 3rd and 10. Like Chandler allowed Mullins to have a manageable game that still didn't go well. Dobbs never got that opportunity with that manageable of second downs. So him getting benched was kind of spitting in his face a little bit because it wasn't his fault. It was all scheme. It was all breakdown in line. I just don't think Mullins should have the job. I don't even think his family should have met him in the tunnel at the end of the game. It's just like, dude, after that kind of shit, like, we'll meet you back at the hotel.
Yeah. Well, Trey Hendrickson blew up our O line. That he was getting back there easy. Did you guys see the news on the turf on our field?
No.
News today. We will be replacing our turf next year.
Grass.
Because no, we can't go to grass. So the official comment today from the Vikings was US Bank Stadium was built as a multi-purpose facility housing over 200 events per year. It was designed for artificial surface. We don't have the ability to grow grass inside. Having said all of that, they will be switching to a new alternative, like a midway between turf and grass, because of notable injuries like Justin Jefferson, Travis Kelce, and then George Kittle actually came out and complained after playing in US Bank. So it's official. We're going to switch up.
We got like a Met Stadium issue going on.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Curious what that does next year. Hopefully keeps our guys healthy longer.
Speaking of US Bank,
hopefully we get the next two, like in the next, we got Detroit and Green Bay at Minnesota, right? Like, let's blow out some knees while we still got this turf. Like, let's get the best of this turf. If they blow out Love's knee in like, or anybody else's, like, who's the best person on Detroit? I'm buying a
Goff.
Detroit is Gibbs. Fuck that. Give me
Goff.
Goff's
irrelevant.
Big Gibbs.
Yeah, no.
Gibbs and Amon-Ra.
I'm gonna have the turf up. How about
Jameson Williams? Same.
No. Let Jameson Williams and Jared Goff play catch all day. They can't find each other on the field. They don't even know each other's number. It's Amon-Ra and it's Jahmyr Gibbs. Out. We need them out.
This is
Sam
fucked up.
Laporta and Penei Sewell and Aiden Hutchinson. They have a nice core.
Oh, Aiden Hutchinson. There you go.
Do you see
the money's worth?
They activated Hendon Hooker too, my quarterback.
Oh, did they really?
Mm-hmm.
That's your guy. We've got like an icy uniform situation on Sunday with all white. It's gonna be sick.
John's real.
Wait, is it Sunday or Monday? What time do we play?
It is Sunday at 10 o'clock LA time or noon back in Rochester. So
I'll take
why
that.
Are we wearing the all whites on a 10 a.m. game?
Because it's Christmas. It's national. It's national TV, and like it's Christmas. It's gonna snow.
Basically, the whole country is getting that early game.
Okay, I mean, I get. Thank you for. It is Jesus' birthday. That's why we're wearing the all whites. I'm fine with the all whites on Jesus' birthday.
Kirk would be very, very. Remember, we're still pitching ourselves to Kirk for next year, so he sees that and he's like, "Ooh, sweet baby Jesus."
Just hope to God we're wearing all whites. Mullins doesn't shit his pants out there. It's not looking good for him. There's nothing worse than shitting your pants in the all whites.
Nope.
He looks like a scared fourth grader. Hey, I'm going to give you guys some medical updates. Couple things. These guys don't know. I've been team doc for USA Track and Field on some things. The upside on Cousins, I did the Achilles tendon repair on hundreds and hundreds of patients. With a graft, he's going to be better than normal. Not as good as normal. I'm going to predict he's going to be better than normal. And here's the big take home. Everybody listen up tight. We have good friends of his neighbors. I think he's in next year. I think he's staying in Minnesota. I don't think he's going anywhere. His neighbor friends, we won't reveal what city. We won't reveal who they are. But the inside scoop is Cousins likes it here, and it's going to happen. And his Achilles will be better, and this new turf will be an improvement. So there it is from the Heartland, right across from Mayo Clinic. I'm looking at Mayo right now.
What is this? You've been hiding an inside source from us this whole time, LJ?
Well, you can't give up all your things.
I've been doing roll toms and all these stupid things, and you don't tell me that you have an inside source. I'm speculating like a rookie.
Johnny Sweets always tries to tap into me. We're in a building that all the superstars in the world, LeBron James was here, is in and out of the building we live in. And he wants to know who's been in and who's been out. So
good for betting.
Spill some tea.
It's pure joy.
Can we
There
get
you
prop? What's the prop bet on like? We don't have that in California. They don't let us bet on anything. But can we get like a prop bet on Kirk re-signing?
Oh,
Do we have it in Minnesota? What's our legislation over there?
Come on,
I
John,
feel like
you're in Denver.
I wouldn't even here. Let me.
Go find a casino.
yeah, you guys definitely have it. Right?
I don't think it's very.
Damn it! All right.
I don't think it would be good odds. It'd be like minus 300 or something. I mean, who
Really?
also are we going to address
what
it
the
in the
prop
draft
bet you
then,
should
or
get is
what?
a future for the Minnesota Vikings to win the Super Bowl next year. Because we're
Yeah.
looking, if we keep Kirk and keep Justin Jefferson, and Flores gets to do some damage
That's the key
during the draft.
not
That's we have a
Flores.
Super Bowl team. That's a
and
Super Bowl team.
and Daniil Hunter.
Daniil, elite. Yeah.
Look,
We need to keep him at the end. And go ahead.
Well, now that everybody's played the same amount of games and we've gotten the bye weeks out of the way, we can actually like address and compare where Daniil is. Because before it was like, oh, you guys hadn't had your bye week. Fuck you. Daniil is second in the NFL, 15.5 sacks, half of a sack behind the NFL leader, TJ Watt, at 16. But he leads the league in tackle for loss, and he has 2 more than Max Crosby, who is, widely considered to have the biggest motor in the NFL. So Daniil is having a sneaky defensive player of the year type season.
Love that.
Brought our boy back. And an interesting / sad, pathetic stat. Our leading tackler on the team is Cam Bynum, which is like, okay, that's fine.
You
Cam
don't want a cornerback
it's
have
a
it.
safety.
Oh, yeah, defensive
which
back.
means the top 15 NFL tackle leaders are linebackers. So everybody else is stopping the ball usually about midfield. We're not stopping the ball until you get to our third line.
That's what people always forget about when it comes to defensive backs at all. It's if you're hearing their name, they suck. If you never hear their name, you're like, oh shit, that guy's amazing. That's why everybody in Minnesota knows the name of Trey Waynes, because they're like, oh shit, Trey Waynes was right by that guy who scored that cool touchdown again.
Yeah, he's in a lot of highlight reels.
Yeah. So Detroit, we can do this. We have enough juice. Like, should we even be optimistic about it, or should we just like lay over child's pose and just take it?
So Detroit, I think, knowing like if they didn't have the Detroit logo on the side of their helmet and their hideous like gray, blue, silver bullshit jerseys, if they didn't have that, I would be very scared of them, because they do.
You're just like thinking like historically with the
you see
Lions franchise.
Like it's like us in the playoffs about to kick a field goal to win the game. You're like, all right, the Vikings lost.
Yeah.
Because
like there's something about like you wake up in Detroit and you drive into Ford Stadium, like it reminds you that like your life sucks, and your team sucks, and like there's something about that.
100%. So yeah, look, Detroit has the fifth ranked offense in the NFL, 5th points per game, 4th in passing, 2nd in rushing. So if you're looking to find a weakness, like it's their passing game, which is top 5 in the NFL. And then their defense is very similar to ours in like they allow more points, but they're 18th in passing defense. We're 17th in passing defense, and they're 7th in rushing defense. We're 5th in rushing defense. So we're like neck and neck defensively. It's going to come down to turnovers and just who plays, the bigger dog, but their offense is elite.
What happens if we lose to Detroit or split with Detroit and lose to Green Bay? Are we
out? We're out. We're
out.
out. We must beat Green Bay, and we must beat at least one of the Detroit. We have to win one of the Detroit games.
Even if Green Bay is out.
Listen, if we lose to Detroit in Minnesota and we beat Green Bay, we must win week 18 to get in the playoffs. Basically, we must. We have to.
Even if the Packers lose out?
No.
Yes, because there's so many other teams that can sneak in behind us.
Oh.
You look at the Seahawks, you look at the Rams, you look at the Saints
and the Seahawks.
And then there's another one that can get in.
Well, Atlanta.
Tonight, like we've got Rams and Saints, so obviously one of those is going to win.
I was looking at the scenarios. It bodes so well for us if we can just take care of Detroit at home. It blocks them from winning the division. We don't want that, especially 3 weeks before the end of the season. We have a whiteout game. We're at home. We're home underdogs, which is pretty rare at US Bank Stadium. In order for us to make any noise in the playoffs, this is the game that you have to take a look at and be like,
so our playoffs start this week, is what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying, yes. And then we have another home playoff game against the Packers next week.
Yeah,
look. Think of it like that. And you know what?
And then the last week,
if we win those
like
first two, correct. If we win those first two, you can talk about putting Dobbs back out or Jaron Hall or whoever the fuck you want out there.
If you win them, you gotta ride with
roll with Mullins. Yeah.
You can't.
You don't like sit Jefferson on the last game and just like walk into the playoffs and keep people healthy.
If there's a small chance we can win the division with that, I think you do it. But
that's the whole point. Is that last game determines who gets the home field advantage. So no, you did. We've given away all chances at. Oh, you guys can take a break, take your foot off the gas. Here's a bye week. No. We have to win 3. If we lose 1, okay, we can still sneak in.
Yep.
We're gonna get a home playoff game. You have to win all 3, and Detroit has to lose all 3. It's the Rams behind us who we have a tiebreaker over. So as long as we have the same record, we get the higher seed. And then the Seahawks and the Saints. The Saints we beat. So I think we might have a tiebreaker over them.
So in theory tonight we're kind of rolling for the Saints then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter. We have the tiebreaker over both.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. So we would.
We have the tiebreaker.
We would make it. We would make it regardless of how they perform. Yes. But I do.
What were you saying, Sweets?
Go ahead. Yeah. No.
Sweets. You got some stats for us.
No. Yes. Yeah. It'll be a good one though. I don't have a stat off the top of my head if you're wondering. But the one thing I will add is the Detroit pass rush isn't that great, so we'll have more times for Nick Mullins. That's really it. Aiden Hutchinson, aside from him, they didn't really have anyone that comes after the quarterback. Alex Anzalone hasn't been that great. He's more of a run guy. So I'm not really too. What's up? They have another guy, Onzuwariki, who's I think on the injury report. So yeah, I mean they have some guys, but I'm not terribly scared by the Detroit defense. We should put up a lot of points on them, and they should put up a lot of points on us. I think it'll be the over. On that one, but again, you look to not turn the ball over. You look at your playmakers.
You think the over? What's the over? What's the over?
Like it's like,
or what's the line?
Group chat with you guys. I should just have that up every time. I don't know. I like 42. I'm gonna say, but it's gonna be over
42.
You got to look at your playmakers like JJ. You got to look at Jordan Addison. We have the two. The 2 running backs had great games last week, and a 2 wide receivers, and the running back had a good game last week. So look at those guys and hope to make a couple plays on defense, turn the ball over, and we'll be good.
They're a rah-rah team, rah-rah coach, Dan Campbell. He wants to bite your knees and do all this crazy shit, and he's doing up downs with the team before the game. That's the kind of team they come out. Yeah. They're pissy. They play really well indoors. So no matter where we play, there or here, they're just as good on both sides. They're a good team. And
the over is 47 points.
Oh, that's pretty low.
47.
Yeah, I would go over that.
I think you got to go over because Jared Goff's going to get his, and I think Mullins will have to throw the ball to JJ and the Addison.
Who's saying Jared Goff's going to get his against our freaking unbelievable top 5D?
Look, the Jared Goff thing. Last week he had 5 touchdowns. The 2 weeks before that he was dog shit. If we're going to win this game, it's stopping the run. You have to focus on. So they have a 2-headed dragon in the backfield, Jahmyr Gibbs, who they traded
dragon
away.
Ooh, yeah, not a monster,
2-headed dragon monster. Fuck them. They traded away DeAndre Swift last year, and then they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs out of Alabama. I was shocked when they did it, but I'm look like the idiot because that kid is a monster. And then they have their bigger guy, David Montgomery. They're pretty much giving them an even split right now, and both are eating. Their offensive line is elite. I think it's ranked higher than ours even. Amon-Ra St. Brown out of USC is a very good number 1 wide receiver. Sam Laporta, who they traded Hawk to us, obviously, and then they drafted this kid, Sam Laporta. George Kittle raved about him in the preseason. This kid is legit. He's leading the NFL in touchdowns for a tight end at 9. Like, he's a very good elite level tight end. They have talent across the board. So if I'm going to make them beat me, it's with Jared Goff, because that's the weak link. Goff sucks.
Love it.
Lines,
Hey,
and then
you
we're
might-
out.
Well, hey, team, you might have a player on the sideline this week. Mama Bear and I might be up at the game. So next week, this weekend, you won't get me. You'll get Mama Bear.
Hey.
She might be live at the game.
That'd be great.
Be great to see her.
Inside info on the field, on field.
You got to listen. You got to get loud here. This is a divisional game, black and blue type deal. If we don't win this, I'll be extremely disgusted, disappointed with the team. That'll be losses to, I'm counting here, Broncos, Bears, Bengals. Bad. We don't want that.
I mean, are we throwing Tampa Bay in there too?
Tampa Bay, that was week 1. I throw that out because it's just a rusty type deal. I even look at the Eagles game. I'd like to see the Eagles in the playoffs because of what happened with the JJ touchdown.
Really?
Right? Yes. I don't want 3 games with Detroit. How do you feel about that, LJ?
It comes down to Justin Jefferson and figuring out a quarterback can do some work. Justin Jefferson doesn't find a way to have 2 touchdown games, at least one of the next 3 games. He doesn't deserve to get re-signed. And because he's going to be asking for $35 million.
Hey, show me the money, baby, right?
He's going to ask for $35 million a year. And you are going to, if you're going to be the highest paid guy in the league, we have to be able to rely on you in this final little stretch to be able to do the work. And if you do have a Mullins, who I do like, I like Mullins for one reason. He forces it to Jefferson. I love that about him, and I'm in for that. So if he forces it to Jefferson, Jefferson owes us 2 touchdowns, at least 1 2-touchdown game in the next 3 games, or don't re-sign him.
I like it. I like the also exciting news, scary and exciting. I guess exciting for both teams. Jordan Hicks is cleared to return from IR. He was seen at walkthrough. He was a full participant in walkthrough, so not a full participant in actual physical practice. And then the scary side is CJ Gardner-Johnson, the big safety pickup for the Lions, who got hurt in September. He came from the Eagles last season. He is also cleared, and he'll be playing against us next week as well. So that's good and bad, because JJ is going to have to deal with that now.
Yeah, but first game back, a little wobbly on the feet.
Let's hope so. Let's hope, because he's good. He's a very good safety.
All right, quick lines, and then let's get out of here.
What was the line? 47?
47.
47, and then Detroit's favored by 3.
What's the spread? 3?
-3.
-3? Like straight 3? No, 3.5?
-3. No hook. I didn't see the hook.
Okay.
All right, give it to us.
I'm going to go Vikings 27 to 24 Vikings.
Ooh.
We win outright. We doesn't matter about covering because we're going to win outright. So, yes. Let's go.
Papa Bear, let's hear you from the Heartline. I got to know what you're thinking.
I like that 27-24 a lot. I'm sticking with you. And if we can, we'll report from the Heartland direct field side.
No, you cannot take his score. What are you talking about?
Oh, I can't take his
No,
score?
that's not how it works.
Wait.
That's so Minnesota nice. Like, oh, I love what Johnny Sweet says. I want that one too. No.
What if we both get it?
Hold on. Just because he was going to do that, I was also going to three-peat it.
Oh.
I like the score too. I like 27-24, but I think the Lions win.
All right, fine. Katya, you three-peating that or what?
No, I'm going to go 30-27 Vikings.
Good girl.
Wow. And we have to, in the all whites, Mullins cannot
blow it
shit
out
his pants. It's 35-21 Vikings with a nice, clean, 2-side of the ball, winning, like doing it, but still, like Jared Goff's going to get his, as you're saying, but still, I think it's high scoring. I think we got to get it kind of done for once. Can we have one game this year where both sides of the ball kind of like play in unison? That'd be amazing.
Yep.
Look at that.
You heard it here first. Cousins is staying. That's the inside, buddy.
Nice.
I love it.
Take it to the bank. Stat out.
It's going to be so much money. I don't know how they're going to work this fucking cap with Cousins and JJ re-signing. Jesus.
Well,
And
hello.
Daniil.
You haven't even mentioned Flores. How is Wilf going to keep Flores?
I know.
That's the most important.
That's maybe a bigger thing than. I mean, that's as it's
For
a
a dynasty for the next 10 years, keeping Flores around, and for a Super Bowl, that's what all we care about. I'd let everybody go.
Figure it out. O'Connell out, Flores in, Jefferson in, Cousins in. Let's do it.
I love that.
You heard the trifecta here. I'm sticking my neck out, baby.
I love it.
All right. Let's get out of here. Appreciate you all. God bless. And Skol Vikes. And roll.
Johnny Sweet and Luke, thanks for having me, buddy. Godspeed.
Meet you, sir.